is episode 360 of No Laugh Track Podcast. This is Justin Severson, the host. Circle of Heat. I haven't mentioned them in a while. We still play their music at the beginning. Check them out online. Check them out in concert. They're a local band here in the Twin Cities. My guest here today is one of my favorites, someone I look forward to every year. I only see him once a year, and it's one of the highlights. It's Dana Gould is back on the podcast. We've done like 5 or 6 of these, Dana.
Every year I come around during November, usually.
October or November.
Mm-hmm. And like Circle of Heat, we've come full circle. 360. We've done it.
I mean,
we've made the full circle.
Yeah. We don't. Doesn't mean we have to stop.
No. Just start another circle. That's how life
circle
works. Just do it. Keep doing it. And I love. Obviously, I've started. I think the first time I was in Minneapolis was 85 or 86. Over at the gallery, because I was very good friends with Liz Winstead, still am. But when she lived here, and a lot of my lifelong comedy friends, Frank Conniff, I met here. Maria Bamford, I met here. Trace Ballou, I met here. Joel, I met here. A lot of my lifelong friends I met, coming to Minneapolis and working for Scott Hansen.
When I hear your excitement and your love of Minneapolis and Acme, a lot of comedians.
I only like Acme because of its proximity to Sex World. And now that that's no longer what it was, everything is the world I knew is gone. I'm like Charlton Heston in Planet of the Apes. I'm in a strange landscape. Yeah, no, I do love it. It's a great room.
I did see you outside spinning looking for another landmark.
How do I know where I am? I can't. Dunn Brothers moved and Sex World died.
That's right. They've gone underground probably.
But all the places, I remember going to the Ragstock warehouse.
Oh yeah,
it's gone. The warehouse, not Ragstock downtown. Yeah. There was a warehouse down by the railroad track somewhere. It was huge. Oh. That's gone. That's been gone for decades.
Holy cow! I haven't thought about Ragstock forever.
Yeah, and City Lights I used to go to all the time.
Was that a record store?
Yeah, a record store.
Yeah, that sounds familiar too.
Yeah.
Boy, Ragstock kind of went mainstream for a moment.
Yeah,
they did shop at the Mall of America at one point.
Yeah, no, they just have T-shirts and stuff like that. Yeah, but there was a great vintage clothing store.
Oh, yeah.
I bought a lot of stuff at Ragstock.
Absolutely. Let's talk about last night. Awesome show.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I was here. It was a pretty packed house on a Thursday.
Sold out, yeah.
Yeah.
First shows are sold out. Second shows, we still have some tickets, but they're going. So
okay.
If you hear this.
Yep, it is Friday. We're recording Friday afternoon, so there's 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow night. You're saying the earlies are sold out already?
Earlies are sold out, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's good.
Excellent. I saw you were in Boston last week.
I was in Boston last week. I was in St. Louis the weekend before.
How was it was a festival?
Yeah, it was really great. I was, I didn't know much about it. I just kind of showed up. But I was actually on shows with a lot of my old comedy pals. I was on with Emo Phillips. I was on with Kenny Rogerson, Lenny Clark, all the guys that I literally started out with. And it's so funny, Kenny Rogerson specifically is a comedian from Boston who's quite brilliant and was a huge influence on me. And I was terrified of him because I was 18 years old and he was already an adult and he was a headliner and he was so funny and dark and weird, but in the right way. And I really took his roadmap. And now we're peers, and to me it's strange still. It's
he's been working the whole time.
Yeah, he works, and he's like, "Hey, Dana," I'm like, "Oh yeah, Kenny Rogerson." He's
cool.
Stephen Wright's favorite comedian. That'll tell you something.
Oh wow,
yeah, that'll tell you something.
Are there influences there? You think?
Kenny's a lot more, I think, closer to me in terms of his delivery. Yeah. But as a writer, he's just he had one new joke that really made me laugh. He goes, "I have some anger problems." This is Kenny Rogerson's joke. It's not mine.
Yeah.
He goes, "I have some problems with anger. I've gone through 4 laptops in 3 years. Laptops these days can do anything except defend themselves." It's just, he has a long bit about the difference between a fern and a ficus. It's just
oh wow,
yeah, no, he's on the ball. He's great.
I saw an article about the festival last weekend, the Boston Comedy Festival. It described it as heavy hitters. They're going to have heavy hitters in town like Dana Gould.
Oh, that's nice.
Artie Lang.
Yeah, me and Artie, always together.
Caroline Ray, Shane Moss, Emo Phillips got a Lifetime Achievement Award?
Deservedly so.
Did you witness that?
I did.
What was that? Please tell me about that.
Oh, I had it. I got it 2 years ago. You get a plaque.
Okay.
You do a show, you get a plaque.
Okay.
You know, he had one joke that killed me was, I love the South, but I'm prejudiced.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, it was just, and that's the perfect, like, oh, that's the joke. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love jokes that go off in your head.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really good.
He's the best. Again, somebody who, like, wow, Emo Phillips, and now we're peers. And to me, it's always nuts.
It's got to be crazy.
Yeah.
Was there an acceptance speech? Is that
yeah,
part
I wasn't
of it,
there for that, but
okay.
yeah, you say thanks.
Okay.
You know, I have one.
Yeah. Where is your certificate, plaque?
It's next to my Emmys on the top shelf of my closet.
Okay. Closet?
Yeah.
So people don't just see them walking by.
No.
They don't collect dust.
No,
they're just in the dark.
They're in the dark up on a shelf.
Okay.
I live there. I don't need to impress myself. You know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I was moving some stuff around.
My kids want them. If they want them later, I go, yeah, you can have them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I'm surprised they don't want them already, just to have one,
No, it's your dad's work stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And as
one of my corpse, they'll like.
Might make a necklace out of it or something. You said something. I listened back to last time when you were here a year ago, episode 316. Of course, everybody's shouting that out on their back to their recorders. No, well, we know 316. I gotta read back some of the things you said to me back then.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Be worried, Dana. Here's what you said in episode 316, just a little over a year ago. My career is perfect right now.
Yeah.
Still feel that way?
I wouldn't say perfect. Back then, my show hadn't been canceled.
You were kind of in limbo, or you didn't know.
I knew it was coming, but it wasn't official.
Okay.
But no, my life is pretty sweet. I'm not complaining.
Yeah,
my life's pretty great. But there's a lot of. Okay, go ahead, and
you could. I'll just add another one here, and then you can expand on that. You also said right after that, and by the way, 2019 is wide open.
Yeah, well,
maybe that was your hint towards. I know it's.
Yeah, it's wide open. I didn't know it was going to. A lot of weird things happened at the. The show got canceled, and I had an idea for another show that I was going to follow up with it that just face planted, like just thud. Nobody had any interest in it.
Okay.
And now I have something else that I'm working on, and I wrote a movie I wrote a horror movie that goes into production in January, and Bobcat,
really?
Bobcat and I toured together this year, got in a terrible car accident together this year.
Yeah.
Personally, I was in a relationship. I was in a very committed relationship at the time of that last interview.
Yes.
And I now live with my girlfriend, but it's not the same person.
Yes.
So it's been a very tumultuous year. It's been a very tumultuous year.
There's been some changes. I have to say that you mentioned, not only did you mentioned it a year ago to me, and then also last night on stage, that girlfriend from a year ago, 2-year-old triplets at the time.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. And now I believe they're 3.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think they're actually 4.
I have to ask, when you started dating that woman and found out that she had 2-year-old triplets,
I knew her before we dated.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. You guys went way back.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like when it came up again. When you mentioned it again last night, I'm like, did it go out like
everybody?
That's immediate material.
Yeah, everybody thought I was nuts, but I was like, whatever, it's fine. I have a very there's always room for more kind of attitude.
That's good. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's fine. But it did. I think there's a lot of moving parts to that, and it didn't work out. And then I really did think I was done. Just in December, it was very sudden, but it was just like one of these like, can't do this.
Sure. Nothing like the timing around the holidays too.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't the one that said it. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. It's fine. I got kids. I like my career.
Yeah.
Pornhub's free. At this point in my life, terrific.
Right.
And then, 3 months later, again, somebody I've known kind of like went out like socially with a bunch of people, and then started dating, and it was just like, oh, Best relationship I've ever had in my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. She gets out of prison in 4 years.
Amazing writer, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
right?
Very good, right. But so, you never, that's the great thing about all of that stuff. You never know,
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. A year ago at this time, we were talking, you and I also had a short conversation about how much we love our daughters. You have 3.
Well, that's changed.
Okay, well, no. You have 3, and at the time I had 2. Now I have 3.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. There was no pregnancy at this time a year ago, and now I have a 3-month-old baby.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the only way that math works.
Uh-huh.
She's 1, 2, or 3 months old.
Yeah, 3 months old.
She's just a whining shit machine at this point.
Uh-huh. Yep, I came home from work yesterday. My mom's retired, was over watching her, and the first thing she described to me was the shit that went up her back, the baby's back.
Oh, yeah, I know
morning.
those. I know those.
So,
yeah.
Those days are back.
I have 2 dogs, and they're idiots. And they're small rescue mutts.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the year, my daughter found 2 kittens. So, all right, now I have 2 kittens. And then my girlfriend has 2 Maine Coon cats, which are like raccoons.
Oh, boy.
And she moved in. So now, and then my daughter that had the kittens has a golden retriever that when she stays with me, which is half the time, is with her. So there are times when there are 7 animals in my house.
You opened a zoo? Is that what you're
we
saying?
did open a zoo, and they all sleep in the bed with us, which is insane. And you hear this at night. You just hear, like, with the cats, you just hear... And it'll be quiet, and then... all night long.
Yes.
Some people and then when I go on the road, it's too quiet to sleep. Like some people have tapes of rain or tapes of the ocean.
Fan.
I have tapes of like the cats running around. Just, Postmates cat food. Come in. Meow. But we built this thing called a catio, which you need, because I'm very neat.
I think I heard you talk about this on your podcast. Did you mention it on there probably? Yeah.
There's a dog door or cat door out of my daughter's room that goes into like this fenced-in outdoor enclosure that the cats hang out in, and you keep the litter box out there.
Oh,
and so
nice.
You've removed 80% of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much? Worth the money?
100 times worth 100 times the money. But what I find interesting is like when my fear when I got divorced and left, I was gone from The Simpsons, got divorced. And my fear was that I would just be alone with nothing to do. And that could not have been less accurate.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which is good. I like to stay busy. But
hell yeah.
It's quite literally ridiculous at this point. Mm-hmm. But people, it's just like, how do you do something? How do you do all of it? I was like, I'm afraid to stop. And I just like, what I have to do today, I can't finish. I just have to just whack at whatever's in front of me.
Oh, I 100% believe that. I know that if I'm going to be talking to you, that there's something new that you just did, that you're working on, that's coming up. Pretty much every time there's something that you have your hands in.
Yeah, and I'm trying. I'm just trying to get it all done. I'm changing my podcast this year.
What?
Not in a bad. Well, I think it'll be positive. It's going to be. I'm leaning towards, instead of one
3-hour one.
Right. I'm going to have 2 90-minute ones. Like, it'll come out every other week.
Okay.
1 interview.
Okay.
And 1 middle piece instead of 2 interviews and middle piece one. Because what I have learned is that people won't sample a 3-hour podcast. They see 3 hour, nah. And I look at my listening habits. Every week there's a 48 to 60-minute podcast that I listen to. And I'm not, every month I'm making The Irishman. Like, 3.5 hours, I don't know. So I'm going to try. Nothing is going to change. I might change the theme music. I'm a little sick of that. Just give it a little, it'll be the same thing but different.
Okay. I will say that as a consumer, not just someone who hosts a podcast, but as a consumer, a big consumer of podcasts, I do get intimidated when they're over 3 hours.
Yeah, it's just like, I have a life. Yeah, and I just think it'll be the 2 interviews. I think people like 1 interview. It's linear. And I just want to give it a little bit more of a branding and make it a little more palatable, consumable.
Okay.
Consumable.
Yeah.
And but that's it. Nothing else.
Okay.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I even feel like, I mean, not just podcasts, but movies.
I'd like to change the title, but it's too late for that. It's too branded.
Dana Gould, our podcast.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I liked Oddville.
Oddville.
Yeah.
No one's using that?
No. It's strange.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dana Gould's Oddville.
Yeah.
Because
that's really good.
Yeah.
That nails it.
Yeah. I'm wondering if I can change the title without losing everybody.
Oh, yes.
But you lose all of your reviews and stuff like that. You lose all your placement.
Do they though? Have you looked into that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that is the theme of the show. It's just weird shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know that you would, but something to look into.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to definitely look into. So along those lines, since we're talking about,
but my producer's like, no, you're not changing the title.
Oh. Is there a stack of T-shirts somewhere they need to get sold?
Oh, there's a lot of T-shirts, and they ain't moving. They ain't moving, baby.
I listened back to it's not the Halloween one. I listened to some of that one. I haven't gotten through all of it.
It's a big one. It's
it
4
is a
hours.
big one. Yeah, and
it's the biggest one I've ever done.
I'm about an hour and 40 minutes into it. I'll be honest. The episode before that, I listened to the whole thing. That was one. I take that back. I don't know when it was. It was Matt Bronger.
Yeah,
and then this woman whose name I've forgotten, but she was a roommate of Belinda Carlisle's.
Oh yeah, Pleasant Gaiman.
And she was putting smut magazines together when she was 9 years old.
Right, you don't need both of those interviews. One of those interviews is great.
Yeah. I enjoyed them both.
Yeah. Pleasant's great. I mean, they're both great. They're both very good friends of mine. But
completely different interviews about topics and stuff.
Yeah, and this. See, now the next interview is Joey Santiago, guitarist for the Pixies.
Okay.
And then Allison Martino, who runs VintageLA.com and who is the daughter of Al Martino, who played Johnny Fontaine in The Godfather.
Oh, my goodness.
So she grew up in L.A. around celebrities all of her life. And her stories are just by like magnitude.
Oh, love it.
And instead of doing those as 1 3-hour episode, I'm going to do one episode and then 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later, the other episode. And that way you don't have to wait 5 or 6 weeks. And
sure. You do a Patreon, too.
I do a Patreon.
You might have to adjust that?
I don't think so, because I'm still giving you the same thing. I'm just giving it to you in different slices.
Okay.
You actually get a little bit more. You get an extra middle piece.
Okay. Yeah, the show is fantastic. You doing video?
No. Don't do video.
No interest in that.
You
do so much editing and it wouldn't make sense.
And it's also like I barely get it done as it is. It's always like fuck.
Do you have is your producer like, Dana, let's go?
Oh yeah,
25th. We got to get this out
every month.
27th, whatever.
Every month.
Yeah.
How we doing? Yeah, every goddamn month. Yeah, and I got to write the middle piece, research it, write it. I want to come up with a name for that segment and give it a little theme music. Maybe I'll just call that Oddville.
Oh, that works. That works too. What are you reading right now?
The other one I wanted was The Spooky Truth.
Spooky Truth. That's good.
But people
too.
might think it's like a horror movie podcast or a paranormal podcast.
Spooky Truth.
Spooky Truth is it a ghost story, ghost podcast or something?
Oddville's better.
Yeah,
Oddville's better. What are you reading right now that's going to be used in a podcast in the future?
I'm talking about the murder of Sal Mineo, the 50s actor.
Okay.
Who was stabbed to death in a garage in West Hollywood.
Oh.
And the movie The Conqueror, which was a John Wayne movie in the late 50s, early 60s, where famously he played Genghis Khan. Terrible casting. He, at one point, is wearing a wristwatch in the movie. And everyone involved in the movie died of cancer, including John Wayne. Because they were filming in the desert on a nuclear test site, and the government went, nah, it's safe. You can shoot there.
Holy crap.
And they all died of cancer, including John Wayne.
Is there a documentary on that or anything?
There should be.
There certainly should be.
Full of strontium-90. And that's everybody shit the bed.
Wow.
Yeah, true.
Wow.
Yeah, because this movie, The Conqueror.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's the movie that killed its cast and crew.
Was that the tagline?
It looked great on a poster. It looked great on a poster.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, I don't want to skip over this because this is close to my heart. About the 3 daughters, and now I have 3 daughters.
Yeah.
One of the things you said about that, and we briefly talked about it, is you said about how Matt Groening once told you take as much video and pictures as possible. You and I talked about how hard it is to look back at that stuff because it's just like
I can't look at it.
You yearn for those the little girls
Pictures
again.
I can look at, but videos, I literally can't do it.
And I literally can't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not alone in that. It's like
you are not.
Yeah, it hurts too much.
Mm-hmm. And now I've got another new one, and I'm filling my phone up with all these freaking videos. I'll probably never watch. Like I'll watch them a few days later.
It hurts.
But 10 years from now,
I have a photo of my daughter that I took. My oldest daughter. She's running in the backyard. She's about 3. She's in this little sundress, and there's just a little blur on it, and it's just like, that's it. It's blur. It's gone. The minute you see it, it's gone.
Yeah.
And, And now she's driving and walking around.
Oldest is 17?
Yeah. Where are you going to go to school? Far away. Okay, all right.
That was my philosophy. I wanted to go far, but not too far. I went far enough that I didn't live at home, but not far enough I couldn't come home on the weekend if I absolutely needed
it's healthy to want to go. I mean, it's it's like if they still wanted to live at home and that's not healthy.
No.
It's time to individuate.
I got some 45-year-old buddies I could introduce you to.
Yeah, I know. So I'm
never really left.
So, her mom and I are like, well, it's healthy.
Yeah.
We did a good job because they are normal and healthy, and at this point can't put enough distance. Which is as it should be.
I hear you. Since I know, and we've talked about it in the past, Halloween's one of your favorite.
Yes.
Probably my favorite as well.
Yeah.
How was it this year?
It was great. My new partner, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, was really into Halloween. We went with 3 big costume changes over the course of the month. We had like 2 parties. And
I think I saw some of the pictures on Instagram.
Yeah. She's as into it as I am, so that was really fun. And one thing I did is, I got a skeleton in the yard set up in the trees with the tree accent light. You don't really see the skeleton during the day; it just kind of fades in the tree, and then at night when the accent light comes on, it's just perfect.
Very cool.
And I didn't want to take it down because it looked so good. So I left him up there. I got him a pilgrim hat, and he's in a pilgrim hat now. And then
I know what's coming next.
Then after Thanksgiving, I put him a Santa's hat. Then I'm going to get him a Cupid's bow, and I'm going to get him
a pot of gold.
We're just going to run him through the year till the neighbors petition me.
You be sure and skip Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do anything for that one.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Red, white, and blue, Uncle Sam hat. We can do them all. Well, Kat, my girlfriend, says, skeletons are not seasonal. We have them year round. So there's nothing seasonal about the human skeleton.
Very true.
Very true.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
How many?
She's a sharp woman.
How many? Did just your youngest go out to trick or treat? Did anybody?
Yeah. No, just the youngest. My oldest daughter, because of my girlfriend got my oldest daughter really into tarot cards.
Okay.
And so my oldest daughter is obsessed with tarot cards now.
Wow.
So her and her friends on Halloween went to the Third Eye Bookstore, which is the supernatural bookstore in Los Angeles, and then went home and kind of like watched horror movies and did tarot cards.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was great. And then my other daughter went to a shaving cream fight. I don't want to know what that is. And then my youngest daughter, we went trick or treating. We had a blast.
Awesome.
We go to Tom Kenny's house, who is the. We started out together. He's been an old friend of mine.
Yeah.
Me, Tom, and Bob started out together, and he's now the voice of SpongeBob. He's
very
well known, and he's got a great house in a great neighborhood. So we go there. We trick or treat out of there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's so cool. I don't know if I was. You mentioned already on this podcast. You've gotten this car accident this summer.
Yeah.
Bobcat. I wasn't sure. I guess I never even thought, is he going to talk about this on stage? And then you talk about it on stage.
Yeah. And then we both talk about it in the dual show.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't. We're filming that in February.
So this is
in
just
January.
You're on hiatus with that. You're saying?
Yeah. Well, we were broke. We broke ourselves. And we're going in January. We're going to do some test shows and then go shoot it. And it was in. The story is, Bob and I are good friends, and we wanted to perform. We wanted to do some dates on the road together as an excuse to hang out, basically. So
what a cool power to have that you can
we
do
booked
that.
some dates. Yeah, we were happy, and we booked some dates. And originally, we'd go on stage together, fart around for 5 minutes, flip a coin, and then based on the coin toss, one would go first, the other one would go second.
Okay.
We quickly learned that people liked us better on stage together. So what we did was we just stayed on stage. Bob would do a bit, and then it would trigger something in me, and then I'd do a bit, and we'd go back and forth. And it was just really great.
Yeah.
Really great. We knew each other's inventory. It was never quite the same show every time, but we definitely got into a rhythm. And we really liked it. People really liked it. So we thought, let's film it. And we booked 3 shows, Atlanta, Georgia, Athens, Georgia, and Asheville, North Carolina. And we were going to film each show and then do the road doc driving to the gigs. Literally pulling into the venue to film the first show, we got T-boned by a dude, and we were in the backseat of the car.
Uber?
No, production car.
Okay.
And here's the deal. Normally I sit in the passenger seat. There was the driver had their dog in the passenger seat, this little dog, and I went to get in the passenger seat, and she went to move the dog, and I went, oh, no, don't. I'll just sit in the back. Don't worry about it. So I sat in the back. Then we got T-boned. Had I been sitting in the passenger seat, I would not be here.
Yeah.
I might be in a box or a chair, but those are my options.
Yeah.
So that was strange to be that close to swing and a miss, death. And then, but we were in the back seat together. We were not wearing seatbelts because we were only going 3 blocks. That was our mistake.
Lesson learned on that one.
Right. That's where most accidents happen. Within 2 or 3 blocks.
Who was the first person to tell you that one?
I forget.
Afterwards. You just want to tell them to F themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured it out. But yeah, the story is, and it's true, we broke our ribs on each other.
Wow.
We were just thrown together and broke ribs and got concussions and pulmonary embolisms I'd been in fender benders and stuff. I'd never been in a real car accident before.
So scary.
They're not good. I'm a much better driver than I was.
Which is interesting because you weren't the one driving, but it still just affects you.
Yeah, but I was a shitty driver. I was peeking at my phone like everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was as sloppy as anybody.
Okay.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
And no, it was really weird. And we had to, we were both, 6 weeks. We ain't doing much. And
how long were you in Atlanta? When did you get to go home?
Just the 2 days later.
Okay.
Yeah. And carefully.
I was going to say, yeah.
Well, you go to the hospital with a broken rib, and the only thing they can do is give you a bill for $8,000. See you later.
And say, don't take deep breaths.
Yeah,
no sneezing.
No sneezing, no coughing, no burping, no farting, no deep breaths. No, it's like, and then the first time you do cough, you realize, oh, this is what they mean.
Yeah,
it's like getting shot.
Yeah.
I've never walked around my house in mortal dread of farting before. But we're better now, and we'll go back and do it. But it was that's one of those things I did not expect to happen this year. Can't really screw it up in a car accident. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a really big change of you. This is normally Dana's week. He's not performing. He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't speak anymore.
How are you? Good night. Good evening, Acme.
Yeah,
he's only a visual performer.
Yeah, I know. That would have been awful.
Oh my God! That's one of my.
And had
fears.
I been in that seat, I would have been really messed up.
And I think you said the dog survived as well, right?
Too, yeah, Brooklyn, just thrown on the floor.
Because I know there are people that
the
are
size of a ham. It just was thrown on the floor.
Oh, sure, it's kind of bounced around a little, probably.
Yeah.
Wow, but you still have plans to film it. That's good.
Yeah, well, now we have to film it. It's like,
Yeah. And then you had a name for the tour?
Yeah, it was the show with 2 heads, and the poster was Bob and me on one body with 2 heads. Like, that's what happened. We merged. Right? We literally recreated the poster.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Bob.
And it's so funny because Bob and I now were like Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner. We're like, what hurts today?
Yeah, right?
You check in every day. What are you taking now? How much you taking?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny.
I mean, it really wasn't.
I literally called him the other day because it was raining in L.A. and my ribs hurt in the rain. And my girlfriend said, yeah, that's kind of normal. And I was like, do your ribs hurt? No, my head hurts. Oh, that's funny. My ribs hurt. It's just
my
like two old men.
Yeah. My head hurts. It's going to rain tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. I remember one day, apropos of nothing, I was sitting at home. My grandmother, my mom's mom, walked in the room and she went, my tit itches. I'm going to get money. It's like some crazy old wives' tale. Okay, Grandma. Thanks for the tit update.
Itch tit.
Yeah.
Old itch tits.
Good old itch tits. We miss her.
Hey, I have to. You know what? I want to point out one more thing you mentioned when we were on when we did the podcast last year. It was kind of a really coincidental, let's say, not a name drop, but someone that you mentioned. You said, and one thing that's surreal in my life is I'm friends with Lorraine Newman.
Yes.
And who's opening for you?
Yeah, her daughter, Hannah Einbinder.
No kidding.
Yeah, who's brilliant.
Yes, I had never seen her until last night. She was good.
There are two comedians in the past 10 years that I saw, and I went to them. I went, like I didn't like with Allie. I said like, don't stay in San Francisco. You move to L.A.
Okay. Who was that?
Ali Wong was the first one, and Hannah Einbinder is the second one. Just like
wait, what? Oh my God.
Yeah, Ali Wong opened for me at the Punchline like 10 years ago, and I was just like, don't stay in. And when she moved to L.A., I like put words in for her, like nobody would sign her, and she doesn't need any help.
She's doing okay now.
She's doing great, deservedly so, and. But yeah, and then I had the same feeling from Hannah. Like I don't want to curse Hannah, but it was just like I was like, "Yep, you're gonna go someplace."
Yeah,
she's just too smart, too funny.
Her show is really
it's great.
It's great, unique.
Well, like a lot of people who are the children of comedians, their comedy is about comedy. You know, Albert Brooks, his dad was a radio comedian, so Albert Brooks's comedy is all very meta. It's about comedy, and Hannah is the same way.
Yeah,
a lot of her set is sort of a Dadaist takedown of a stand-up set. You know, it's great to watch somebody that's surprising, and like I thought, like I follow Hannah sometimes. I go, I can quit.
Oh,
she's here. No, I won't. But it's like,
it was.
She's great. She's great. Yeah. And it's like and like. It's kind of weird. It's like her mom can rest it. Don't worry, I got my eye on her. She's okay. It's like
sure
chaperoning.
Have you this isn't the first time you've taken her on the road with you?
It's the first time we've worked on the road together.
It is.
Yeah. But it is funny because I worked with Lorraine 3 weeks ago, and now I'm working with Hannah.
Did she do the Plan 9 thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's really funny. Yeah, it's really weird.
Actually, I have some other stuff I'm going to bring up to you that shows what a small world it is. Just like references and people and crossing paths and whatnot. So that's one of them. Is just that like you mentioned
weirdness
Lorraine Newman on the show last year, and then boom, her daughter's in Minneapolis with you performing. So here's another one. Last night you mentioned on stage a little thing about Mr. Rogers, who we all love.
Right?
And if you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you. That new movie opens today, I think.
Yeah,
Tom Hanks movie. I assume you're going to go see it.
I will see it. Yeah,
I'm going to go see it at some point.
Yeah.
The teaser for that came out at my house the other day. My older daughters were watching with me, and one of them asked me, what's with your she asked me, what's with your reaction to Mr. Rogers? Why is he so great?
Wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like, oh, honey, why is he so great? Let's watch first.
He's not an asshole.
Yeah, we need.
We don't have it. Yeah.
We need to watch that doc together because I've seen.
So it's nice that one person's not an asshole. No, he's dead.
Right. So I was looking something up about Mr. Rogers, and I found this thing, and it was like 15 great things about Mr. Rogers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, right. Oh. I'm not going to read you all of them, but I'll give you one, and one is going to tie into something that you're way into, and maybe you'll beat me to the.
Wow, I don't know.
Oh, you don't? Okay. One of the things I think is cool is Mr. Rogers replied to all of his fan mail.
Wow, impressive.
Did you know that?
No.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I totally believe it.
Yeah.
I also think when I was reading that this morning, I thought, what if this was 2019 and Mr. Rogers was in his prime and people were tweeting him?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I don't think that would have gone as well. He was an ordained minister. We know that. He was bullied as a child.
Yeah.
Accomplished musician. I love this one. His interest in television was born out of his disdain for the medium.
Love that.
Isn't that awesome? He saw what was on and was like, this is trash. I'm going to make something good for kids.
That's interesting.
Yes. His mom knitted...
That's why strippers get married. It's their disdain for the medium.
Of course, Mr. Rogers had those the sweaters, the cardigan sweaters. Mm-hmm. Did you know his mom knitted all the sweaters?
No.
I didn't either. He was colorblind.
Didn't know that.
Okay. Now, here's the one. I'm not going to read any more except for this one, and this is the connection to you, sort of. Mr. Rogers gave this person his first paying gig. Not just Michael Keaton, which is some people know about that.
I didn't know that.
Michael Keaton, his first job was a stagehand on the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood, the TV show. No, he gave George Romero his first paying gig.
Wow!
Yes, Dana. You didn't know that.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Oh, is he from there too?
Yeah.
George Romero?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll just read this to you real quick. It's hard to imagine a gentle, soft-spoken children's education advocate like Mr. Rogers sitting down to enjoy a gory, violent zombie movie like Dawn of the Dead, but it actually aligns perfectly with Rogers' brand of thoughtfulness. He checked out the horror flick to show his support for then up-and-coming filmmaker...
He did? He went to see Dawn of the Dead?
George Romero, whose first paying job was with Mr. Rogers. He says... Fred was the first guy who trusted me enough to hire me to actually shoot film, Romero said. As a young man just out of college, Romero honed his filmmaking skills, making a series of short segments for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, creating a dozen or so titles, such as How Light Bulbs Are Made and Mr. Rogers Gets a Tonsillectomy. This is great. The Zombie King, who passed away in 2017, considered the latter his first big production. Shot in a working hospital, he says, quote, "I still joke that Mr. Rogers Gets a Tonsillectomy is the scariest film I've ever made. What I really mean is that I was scared shitless while I was trying to pull it off."
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. I had no idea.
No idea. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And it's so funny. You've seen the documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who could have a problem with Mr. Rogers? Fox News.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
They have to be contrarian.
Sure.
Everybody's special. I don't think so. He's ruled the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, ugh.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that I thought that you would be amazed by that.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Didn't you have a connection sort of to some George Romero material, right?
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, because of Creepshow and everything. Yeah.
So let's talk about that, the Creepshow thing that you were involved in.
Yeah, well, the movie that Stephen King and George Romero made in the early 80s, Creepshow, I saw 3 million times because I was an usher at the theater when it was playing.
Oh.
And when I used to be an usher when I was in high school, and there was a 2-story old music hall in my hometown, and we converted it into 2 auditoriums for cinema. And what we would do at the end of the night when we were trying to find out where the other usher would be when we were locking up, one of us would yell, "It's Father's Day," and the other one would answer, "I want my cake," and that's how I would know where they were. So we, and then Greg Nicotero, who of The Walking Dead, whose first job, I believe, was given to him by George Romero. George Romero gave Greg his first job, and now Greg is the executive producer of The Walking Dead, and they spun off Creepshow as a series.
Yeah,
and Greg very. Sent me like 3 scripts and said, like, I want you to be in one of these. Tell me which one you like, which was really great of him. And I picked one where I played a 300-pound guy who fights a giant slug, and it was everything I've always wanted to do as an actor. It was me in a blood-soaked fat suit all day. It was heaven on earth. It was great.
You kind of got to do that on your show, right?
Yeah, but this wasn't my show.
Right.
So I didn't have all the other headaches of when it's like when it's my show, I'm worried about the time, the clock, the shots. It's
Sure.
like I could just enjoy, like they would come in and find a problem, and I go, "Good luck."
Yeah.
I'll be over here.
So I haven't seen it. It's a subscription based thing.
Yeah,
correct? People wanna see
subscription-based
this?
streaming on Shudder, and the episode I'm on is called Skin Crawlers.
Skin crawlers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a fat suit. I'm not that big.
Yeah, I was reading the description, and it was something of and I'm like, how did they get? Dana's not a big guy.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't. What's this weight loss thing? They must. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm 300 pounds in the movie.
And it sort of ties in with like people's fear of like the tapeworm kind of.
Well, kind of. Yeah, it's a miracle diet where they attach this reptile to you, and it sucks out all your fat. And what we don't realize is it leaves something behind that erupts.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of great.
Yikes.
It's kind of great.
And there'll be a second season of that. You think
Yeah,
they'll be
yeah,
back?
there is-
Well, they going to use you again?
I don't know. That's up to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so here is the other one that the small world connections and all that. So last night on stage, you talk about Michael Jackson a little bit.
Yeah.
And you mention Emmanuel Lewis.
Yes.
Yes. So I've been doing this thing where I've been looking up. My guests have. I do all this research. And you are in a category of people I've had on that were also on the TV show An Evening at the Improv.
Was I on with Emmanuel Lewis?
You were on with Emmanuel Lewis.
I didn't even remember that.
Yes. In fact, shit, where did I put my... Oh, here. I have something for you.
Is that a photo?
No, because it wouldn't let me take a still shot from the... Here. Let me...
Because I literally did like a dozen of those.
Yeah. On Amazon Prime, they have quite a few of the I think every season, maybe, posted. There's so many episodes. And I looked up... I wrote down... Those are the episodes that I could find that you were on. 91, let's see, we got 88, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. The one from 1988, October of 1988, Dana. This is your life.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see it.
I'm not going to show it to you. While I'm pulling up this little piece of audio I pulled from it, I'm going to play for you in just a second. It's not you. It's not you.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to give you some of the names that were on that show with you. If you tell me if anything comes to mind about these people. Craig Schumacher.
Yeah, sure. I know Craig.
Okay. Tony Edwards.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, Tony. A really funny guy.
Rich Pullman.
Don't remember.
And then Billiam
Cornell.
Cornell.
Yeah, later became a writer on SNL.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No kidding.
Great guy.
Oh. Huh. I'll have to look that up here. Okay, and then the host of that show. So people aren't familiar with it. It was like
stand up.
yeah, it was stand up, 4 or 5 comedians, and then there would be sort of a celebrity host.
Right. Yeah.
So that on this episode,
Twiggy
was another one that was on. Yeah, so
I remember.
you were,
She's the only one I remember.
Okay. So let's see. I did have Shadow Stevens.
Yeah, sure.
And me, I'm Shadow Stevens.
Right, he was a DJ, I think.
He was a DJ. I know him from, he was the announcer on the John Davidson version of Hollywood Squares.
Okay. All right, that tracks. Shadow Stevens and John Davidson is like the most Caucasian before infinity. It's like...
No doubt. Twiggy was from 1993.
Yeah, I remember Twiggy. I don't know why.
Shadow Stevens, Jeff Altman.
Yeah, I know Jeff.
And Andrea Martin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With Andrea Martin?
She was SNL?
SCTV.
SCTV, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
SCTV.
SCTV. Wow, I had no idea I did it with Andrea Martin.
Yeah. All right.
Was that 92? I have no memory of that at all.
Let's see, which one? The 1990 Andrea Martin.
I have no memory of that at all.
Okay, let me give you the names on that show. Peter Pitofsky.
Pete Pitofsky, yeah.
Pete. Yeah, you know him as Pete. I know him as Pete.
Sure.
A guy named Dana Gould. Yeah. Someone, Adam Sandler.
Oh, was Sandler on that one too?
Adam Sandler.
Funny.
Yeah, people have heard of him. Rick Aviles.
Rick Aviles, yeah.
Okay, and Jeff Bolt.
Jeff Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, from San Francisco.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with all of those names. All right, let me...
Yeah, no, I know Sandler, Chris Rock, and I auditioned for SNL together. And we all thought I got it.
Did you do impressions?
No, we did stand up in Chicago. We were flown to Chicago, and we all walked out of there all quietly convinced that it was me.
No shit.
Yeah.
Did you ever go for a writing gig there?
Nope. And then oddly, I auditioned the next year, and I was told, like, it looks good. and I was starting to think about packing, and then nothing. And I found out that I was in the cast, and NBC said, we really like Jim Breuer. We think he's a star. So I was out of the cast, and Jim Breuer was in the cast.
No.
I don't care. I like Jim, and I had just started dating my wife, and we have 3 beautiful kids, so I got my family out of that deal. I'm not going to complain.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What that would have been.
But you know who told me that?
Jim Breuer?
Billiam Cornell.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
Look at that. What years would that?
That was 95, I think. Whatever
Okay.
year Jim was in.
Okay.
94, 95.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. Okay.
That's all right. People think it drives me crazy. It doesn't.
You've done plenty of great things without SNL.
But it's like,
Yeah.
whatever. Oh,
I hope this is going to
I'm
play.
going to groan.
Come on. Oh, is this not going to play? I might have to play.
Is that Emmanuel Lewis?
Oh, no. Yes, it is. One button seat here. Here we go.
Welcome back to the Improv. Our next performer is a native of Boston and who has relocated to San Francisco, who has become a big favorite on the exploding comedy scene there. Joining us for the first time appearing on an evening at the Improv, please welcome Dana Gould.
It's so,
Huh?
can I see the? Is there video or is it just audio?
It's the way I recorded it. It cuts out the video.
Would you send me that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Oh my god!
Isn't that crazy?
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
You didn't go out for beers with
don't-
Manny after the show?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Huh? Yeah, Emmanuel Lewis. So
He would have known. He would know. He has stuff to tell us.
Yes. You can see it in his eyes. Right?
Oh yeah.
That's why he.
He's seen some shit.
That's why he double pumped when he was giving your name. He's seen some shit.
He was just stretching it out because he didn't want to leave. He knew what was waiting for him.
Yes.
The exploding comedy scene now.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so great. So yeah, I've been going through.
Wow.
So you're not the only one. Like Jeff Cesario was here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he even hosted one of those
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Which he didn't remember. He's like, no, I didn't. I said, Jeff, you hosted.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that. He remembered being on, but never hosting. Tom Rhodes was just on the podcast here 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
He was on an episode or two of that show.
Everybody. did
Kindler.
that show.
Andy Kindler was another one. I brought it up
The
too as well.
weirdest story I have, and this might have been the Andrea Martin one because I literally have no memory. It was about 92, and my brother was visiting me in Los Angeles, and we were going to dinner in Santa Monica, which is where Evening at the Improv was taped at the Santa Monica Improv.
Okay.
And we walked by, and there's all the trucks outside, and I'm like, oh, that must be taping. And literally, as we're walking by, somebody goes, Dana. I go, yeah. Hey. He goes, what are you doing? I go, we're going to dinner as my brother. He goes, can you do the show? I'm like, now? Yeah, so-and-so didn't show up. Or like, I just looked at my brother. My brother just shrugged. And I was like, I guess. And like, I had a bit that I hadn't done, and so there's one episode of Evening at the Improv where I'm like just in a sweater, like which I never wore on stage.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
just
I
like in a sweater and pair of ripped jeans and a sweater. And I was just going to dinner.
Casual Dana.
Yeah, no, it's literally I was just going to dinner and they just pulled me off the street and stuck me on stage, paid for dinner.
Yeah, right? No, I wonder which one that was.
I think it was probably from '92.
That's wild. Did I say 92 was the Jeff Altman?
Yeah, might have been it.
Also on that bill, Carrot Top, Dick Hardwick.
Probably Chris Hardwick.
It said Dick.
Yeah,
But okay, Chris, it makes sense.
probably
I know
Chris
who that
Hardwick.
is.
Yeah.
Carol Montgomery,
Carol Montgomery,
Stephen Pearl,
Steve Pearl, yeah, from San Francisco, brilliant.
and you, and Dana Gould. Or as Emmanuel Lewis said, Dana Gould.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Dana Gould.
Dana Gould.
And I do need to thank you. Well, I'm going to thank you in advance because I think based on your podcast episode where you talked to the guys behind the Rudy Ray Moore Dolomite Eddie Murphy movie, that I'm going to watch that this weekend.
It's so good.
Okay, I haven't, and I wasn't even sure I was going to, but I listened to that,
So
and
good.
now I want to.
It's so good.
And I'm at the. I don't know a ton about that genre of movies.
You don't have to.
So it was not, it's not really.
No, you don't. It actually kind of helps that you don't.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But the important thing to remember is that it's all true.
Crazy.
It's all true.
Yeah.
It's like Ed Wood. The weirdest parts in the movie Ed Wood are true. The only stuff that's fabricated is this. They just need for the precision of storytelling. There were more people at Bela Lugosi's funeral than just Ed Wood and his friends. But all the crazy stuff about they get the money for Plan 9 from the Baptist Church of Beverly Hills, but to get the money they had to get baptized into the church. That's all true. That all happened. It's the weird stuff. And the specific thing about Dolomite is it ends in a very Hollywood kind of way. It's actually what happens at the end of the movie actually happened. Okay. Yeah. Which is also amazing.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. And then Eddie Murphy, of course, is the star of that. And I think I heard you say on one of your podcast episodes, you saw him during the Delirious tour?
Yeah, I saw that live. Yeah, I saw Delirious live, yeah. And I bumped into him in the parking lot of the Hyannis, Massachusetts Stop and Shop that day.
Okay.
I was like, hey, I'm going to see your show tonight. And he stuck a gumball out of his mouth at me, and that was it.
Oh. Was he casual Eddie? He was
leather? Yes, he was shorts and a T-shirt, just strutting around.
Okay. Do you have an opinion on him coming back to do stand-up?
I love him. I'm a giant Eddie Murphy fan. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Eddie Murphy fan. It's like I don't see how he was not nominated for Best Actor for The Clumps or Nutty Professor. It's like you've created 5 or 6 incredibly specific, indelible, hilarious characters. Who else can do that?
Yeah.
Who else can do that? Many have tried.
Mm-hmm.
Many have failed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy and Peter Sellers are the 2 people that can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Coming to America sequel.
Directed by the same guy. Directed Dolomite. His talent is supernatural. Like, it's spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool. What... So coming up in 2020 for Dana Gould, you're doing the shows with Bobcat.
I do shows with Bobcat. I have this movie coming out. We're going to be filming this movie for Sci-Fi Channel.
This is the one you wrote.
Yeah.
And
working title is Deadly Presence, ENTS. We'll see what happens. But that starts shooting in January.
A Christmas movie.
A Christmas horror movie. Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then. In the vein of Krampus. And then there's a show that I am developing right now called Screamland that I'm looking forward to. And in lieu of that, there's another idea and a graphic novel. So I have I have a good slate of things that I hope happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two more things I want to bring up here just real quickly. Disney Plus, are you in or out?
I didn't. I was originally out. Like I can't. But then my girlfriend, I just walked in. She was like, "I ordered Disney Plus." I'm like, okay, all right.
You know what I did?
She wanted to watch Sleeping Beauty with my daughter. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I hear The Mandalorian's great, so I'll see that.
You haven't.
I hear it's great.
Haven't dug in yet to Mandalorian?
I don't have time, dude.
A little busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have time. Is it good?
Yeah.
My friend Ken Daly, who is a big Star Wars aficionado,
approves.
And he hates what's bad. He's a truist. And he thought it was great. And he just thought it was. He said it was the Star Warsiest thing he'd seen.
It's good. The third chapter, I think they're calling it, is out today. So I got that on the schedule.
It's like a Sergio Leone movie, he said, which is what Star Wars was never a science fiction movie. It was a Western.
Yes,
spaceships.
And it's interesting you say that because I've been a Star Wars fan my whole life, but I don't describe myself as a sci-fi fan.
Right.
I don't love sci-fi
It's not
movies
science
or
fiction at all.
sci-fi books.
It's not science fiction at all.
Yeah, it's not.
There's no science in it. there's no science. You know what's amazing science is Rick and Morty. Like, Rick and Morty is amazing science.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, I like, the stuff I liked about Star Wars is like, it took place in these shitty backwater towns. And like in an old Western, but there were dirty robots and broken up spaceships. Like, that to me was great.
Yeah.
And then, when it started to go into like Naboo and all these big cities.
Mm-hmm. The movie...
Also, there is no back mythology. It's all made up as they go.
True.
Which is why they keep making the same story over and over again.
Yeah.
That's all horse shit.
So, like, I think I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Just in a different year and maybe a different actor.
Yeah, there's no
or it might be the same one.
Yeah, there's no... like Tolkien had a deep, deep, deep mythology. George had nothing.
Yeah.
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 It's all ladled in later.
Did you... So, obviously, Simpsons, you worked for The Simpsons for, 7 years?
Yeah, 7 or 8.
And now every episode is posted. Disney owns them, and they're all on that Disney Plus site.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about the scuttlebutt about the aspect? They posted the 4:3 aspect of the early episodes of The Simpsons. They've stretched them out. Instead of showing them Disney Plus, instead of posting the original
aspect
copies,
ratio.
They've stretched it. And now there's jokes that are completely missed.
Oh, yeah.
Because now they're off the screen.
They're off the screen,
Like the Duff beer, where it's coming from, like, the light and the dark are coming from the same tube.
Right.
You don't see the top of that tube until you completely miss the joke.
Those bastards.
You hadn't heard about this?
No.
Yeah. Do you think there's any from the episodes you were involved in that had the sight gags that...
I'm sure.
Nothing you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, I know I know there's a... now I'm worried about the dragons in Goo Goo Gai Pan.
Really?
Just to see.
Yeah.
Because they vomit rainbows.
Well, the good news is there's so many...
They'll charge you to see it normally. They'll charge you extra.
No, I think so many Simpsons nerds have gotten upset that they're going to post both versions. The unstretched out original.
Why would you want to see the shittier version?
I don't...
Post them in black and white, too.
Right, yeah. I just want the sketches.
It's so weird. I can't, yeah.
I mean... I can tell you who, like somebody like my wife, who likes to have the whole screen filled with picture.
It's show business now. If you saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
I haven't.
Hollywood now is like it was in 1969. Nobody knows what's going on, and everybody's terrified because it's the Wild West. It's streaming. The hit network show is like a 0.4 rating. Which would get you canceled after one episode,
right?
20 years ago.
Yeah,
nobody. Somebody said to me earlier this year, Netflix is dying for animation content. You've got to go in and pitch animation. They're dying for animation content. So I went and we're not doing that anymore. It's like they don't know what what they're doing.
And I just read a month ago or so that they were doing less stand-up now. Like they have less stand-up planned for 2020.
I mean, they only do stand-ups to tease markets. It's like, let's find we want to sell more Netflix in Germany. Who's the most popular German stand-up? We'll get him a special.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's all, what I do is I just keep my head down and do what I do.
Yeah.
Because you can't think about all that stuff. You go insane.
Sure. Absolutely.
You can't keep up with infinity.
Nope. No one has.
Yeah.
No one has.
Yeah.
Keep doing your thing, coming back to Acme once a year. Let's end it with when I walked out last night, Dan was here from Stand Up Records. He had some of albums of yours. Mm-hmm. Is he going to be around the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, he will.
If they bring
I think
some
not
extra
tonight,
cash?
but not Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he's recording. I think he'll be doing Bob's and my show and another show I'm doing. It'll be like a bootleg release because it's of dubious legality.
Oh, okay. I'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
And then you have most years when you come here, you have a poster that you're selling.
I have a poster I'm selling this year, yeah.
Awesome.
Created by Mark Tavares, who was one of the guys that designed the walkers on The Walking Dead.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Everything's tied together
All goes
somehow.
back.
It all fits together. Dana?
Walking Dead, inspired by Night of the Living Dead, created by George Romero, who worked for Fred Rogers.
There it is.
There it is.
Dana, it's been great.
Great. Good to see you again.
Thank you.